Going into 2025, few of us expected that it would be this bountiful in terms of quality releases. Role-playing games, racing games, platformers, and action RPGs. Each month has offered something new and compelling. There's just one problem: time. What should you prioritize first? More importantly, which games are guaranteed to give the most bang for your buck? Let's dive into the most amazing games of this year that can offer 50 to 100 hours, or maybe even more, of great gameplay. Ghost of Yotei. Returning to your birthplace to avenge your brutally murdered family is cool and all, but discovering all the puzzles, bonding with your ferocious wolf by slaying poachers, that's where it's really at. Ghost of Yotei is excellent at seamlessly weaving optional activities into exploration, be it bamboo strikes, sumi-e paintings, and making every single one feel unique. But maybe you'd fancy earning some new armor that can deflect bullets by stealthily infiltrating a tea house for Ginji, the armorer. Perhaps earning an incredible charm by assisting Ron the Bowyer, slay Takezo's disciple for the privilege to face him in a duel, and probably engage in some bounty hunting on the side. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Mysteria Alexia is out, meaning Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 has wrapped up all of its DLC. But even if you didn't venture off the beaten path, Henry's Journey is still one of the best open-world RPGs of all time. Starting from nothing, slaving away in menial jobs, finding your calling as a blacksmith, or a hunter, or an herbalist, really, take your pick, and slowly building yourself back up, Bohemia is simply bustling with things to see and do. Lead a noble life, beloved by all, or become a no-good criminal, destined only for the guillotine. It's your choice, and the sheer reactivity of the world is something to behold over the course of 100+ hours. Jurassic World Evolution 3. The biggest and perhaps most satisfying game in the series yet, with 90 species of dinosaurs with juvenile variants added for the first time. That's not even including the dinos from Evolution 2, added for free post-launch. But even with the extensive campaign, community creations, and challenging modes, the real time sink is in sandbox mode, as you perfectly craft the dinosaur park of your dreams, optimizing every single aspect. Or, watching it fall into chaos. It even features a custom island generator for when you inevitably have to start over. Assassin's Creed Shadows. For all the ways that Ghost of Yotei surpasses Assassin's Creed Shadows, the former is missing one thing: base building. Or more accurately, hideout customization, where you can adjust the very moss on rocks to cultivate your league in the most aesthetically pleasing way possible. Of course, Shadows has plenty of other content, from castles to attack, skills to master, loot, weapons and armor to plunder, and so on. In fact, there are even new story quests, collaborations, parkour improvements, and corrupted castles to challenge. Clair Obscure Expedition 33. On its own, the story is an absolute rollercoaster, especially when optimizing builds and employing the most broken techniques possible. Act 3 is where all bets are off, however, and Clair Obscure unveils the full gamut of its post-game. A painted serpent in the skies, the flying manor where a familiar foe awaits, the endless tower with multiple sets of challenges. There's just so much to discover, especially if you're circling back and wiping the floor with previous act bosses. It would all be for naught without a super boss waiting for the end. But don't worry, Clair Obscure has that too. Hollow Knight Silksong. There's nothing quite like wrapping up Silksong after years of waiting, going online, and then asking out of pure bafflement, wait, Act 3? Because you can explore the world of Farloom, ascending to the top, defeating its toughest bosses, and yes, maybe rescue a few fleas along the way. But there's so much more beyond what you'd even expect or prep for. So go and complete those wishes, discover even more incredible characters, and if you're feeling especially masochistic, there's the one-hit KO Steel Soul mode for a true challenge. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Technical problems aside, the Oblivion Remaster is a treasure trove of content, even without accounting for mods. You get the massive base game, a heroic quest to stop the gates of Oblivion from manifesting in Cyrodiil with all of its side quests, quirky NPCs, and dungeons to plunder. There's also the Knights of the Nine expansion for even more adventuring and arguably superior narratives. Play multiple builds, approach quests from different angles, and most important of all, endurance, endurance, endurance. The first Berserker Khazan. There's more to the first Berserker Khazan story than the revenge quest. Least of all, the retries required to best its bosses. Embarking on side quests and finding all the fragments of Ozma's diary is the route towards the best ending. But even if you're content to explore or replay on higher difficulties, there's also New Game Plus, which carries over all armor, skills, and weapons, increases the level cap, and lets you craft epic and legendary equipment. Best of all, transmog for the true endgame fashion. Pokemon Legends ZA. 230 Pokemon to catch and 65 Mega Evolutions only scratch the surface of ZA's content. There are dozens of side missions to complete, the ZA Royale to grind through, complete with promotion battles and online multiplayer, including the new Battle Club for 4 players to duke it out. And that's without factoring in Mega Dimension, a completely separate realm where the true endgame, full of level 100 plus threats, awaits, alongside even more Mega Evolutions. Donkey Kong Bonanza. An out-and-out blast from start to finish with a story that can be finished in less than 20 hours. But if you've played a 3D Mario game, you know that's not the end. It can't be. There are 1,000 Bonandium gems, and what's a King of Kong to do but collect them all? DK Island and Emerald Rush add even more, with the latter's roguelike structure offering even more replay value. And that's before diving into the limited time events each month for new statues. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. When you can spend dozens of hours simply delivering packages, building bridges and zip lines, and admiring the sights, you know it's something special. Fortunately, Death Stranding 2 offers more beyond that, from a healthy selection of weapons and targets to unleash them on, to side quests with cameos from your favorite personality, to Ghost in the Shell director Mamoru Oshii as a pizza chef no less. Otherwise, plan out optimal routes and just have fun with the community. Elden Ring Nightreign. With 8 Night Lords and several other bosses in between, there's room for plenty of killing in Limveld. Choose your Nightfarer, optimize that playstyle with different relics, and if you like them enough, complete their personal quests for even more power. That's the base Nightreign experience, not including all the shifting Earth locations to explore. However, you can also challenge the Everdark Sovereigns, even tougher versions of the Night Lords, or venture into the deep of night for longer expeditions with cursed loot. And if that isn't enough to keep you busy, attempt to solo everything. The Forsaken Hollows DLC adds even more content in the new form of new Nightfarers and new bosses. Trails in the Sky First Chapter. The original Trails in the Sky FC takes about 66 hours if you're aiming for everything: recipes, side quests, perfectly optimized orbments. The remake is just shy of 6 hours, but even if you're purely focused on the story and side content, it's a long journey, made all the more fulfilling with expanded cutscenes and more combat depth. Where Winds Meet. Everstone Studio makes no bones about wanting you to get lost in its massive world, offering thousands of NPCs to interact with and dozens upon dozens of hours of content. Even outside the multitude of weapons, mystic techniques, and martial arts to master, there is such a rich plethora of optional activities to indulge in. Engage in shuijiao, the sumo before sumo became a thing. Venture into dungeons, or just run around and explore the massive world while helping those in need. It's a truly expansive experience that's only going to get bigger once other regions launch globally. Hades 2. There's a moment in Hades 2 when you think you've understood everything that the game has to offer, its various boons, the systems governing its weapons, the incantations. Then the way to Olympias opens, and a brand new game is laid bare. Of course, you'll still be growing crops, optimizing your arcana, maxing out keepsakes, upgrading weapons, and unlocking their hidden aspects. And most importantly of all, discovering pets to assist you in runs. And even after the ending, there's yet more to discover and greater challenges to conquer: the Oath of the Unseen. Hey, did you know that we at Gaming Bolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.